Wolfenstein Youngblood. This game was it's a game. Uh, yeah, it was different. In a way, I can respect the choices, the direction that they took. Because, considering the other Wolfensteins, like, Wolfenstein alone has been around for how long? But even just, like, the rebooted, you know, modern takes on Wolfenstein. I mean, this is what, the fourth game in? It's still their newest Wolfenstein. Technically, yeah. It's, I don't know. I liked it. I really did. I mean, I put a lot of hours in. I think I got to level like 49. I obviously beat the game, and then the thing with this game, it's really grindy, which was, you know, different. I mean, the first level in, you're picking up silver, you're like really, you know, already kind of working. You can already kind of tell that, like, this is definitely very different. Because the other Wolfensteins, you can kind of just run through. Yes, you have to pick up a lot of armor often, a lot of ammo, that hasn't changed. You know, but the guns are still big. The gunplay is really fun. It's all there. Same-ish abilities. It's more Wolfenstein. I think the only thing that threw a lot of people off, including myself, was, you know, there is no BJ here. He's in the game, thankfully, but he's not really a part of it. But, you know, after all the other games, we've had so much of BJ that, like, I didn't mind this at all. It was actually a really funny game. I mean, it just depends on your sense of humor. Cause, well, I mean, let's face it, Wolfenstein's always had that kind of humor in it, that comedic relief, because it is such a serious game. Blood, Nazis, Germany, killing, guns, knives, takedowns, melee, robot hounds, and Jesus, man, like machinery hell. And they do when they slip in the humor, that's where it comes in really well, is to remind you that, like, you know, it's not, this is such a serious game, and this is what all games do, but don't take it too seriously. It's a game. It's a video game made by a bunch of people. Machine Games. Bethesda. That's another good point, is that it is a Bethesda game. It has that same really well done formula of the cutscenes, the dialogue, the action, the pacing, the quality. It's still a very much enjoyable game. I think a lot of people kind of don't give this game enough credit because it's like, oh, there's no BJ, it's not the same, wah. Yes, okay, but you gotta realize, like, dude, if you like Wolfenstein enough, you're gonna play this. Period. And, it's just really good. It's based on, you know, from the older games, BJ and his wife had kids, twins, sisters. And I think people forget that, like, dude, BJ's from Texas. You know, there's gonna be a very heavy accent and kind of this yeehaw cowboy uh Nazi killing attitude, and that really does carry over here. And even their mom, BJ's wife, yeah, I don't know where she's from, but you know, these girls are a very much combination of BJ and their mom. And so it's like they know when to act serious, but they know how to have fun too. They know that, like, hey, we're out here doing the world a favor. One less Nazi saving the world. And they know that. They're aware of that. It's like people don't realize, especially depending on one's experience with Bethesda games, is that you could almost think of however many Bethesda games that there are, there's always Doom has humor in it. Doom 2016 Eternal, it's goofy, you know, it's funny, it's Skyrim, Fallout, some of those games, as serious of a thing that those games are, it's fucking funny. Some of it's really funny, dude, apart from the bugs and glitches. Well, that's part of the humor, is like, what, The Evil Within? Not exactly funny, but when it is funny, it's there. That's obviously a very different thing compared to this, but they always tackle, they're really good at tackling, like, good and evil, seriousness, non-seriousness, really basic, simple, straightforward, deep, natured things. And that's what this game can do so well, especially this one. Like, if Wolfenstein's comedy shined through at all ever, it's in this game. These sisters are crazy. They're funny as hell. You know, and Texans just like to party. They like to kick some ass, but they, you know, they're a very peaceful but like very energetic kind of culture. So that's what you got here. I mean, you got big ass guns. It's video game gold. Like, I don't think a lot of this is why Bethesda is what they are, is because they're the top dogs. Like, they know what they're doing. They had something and they stuck with it. But yeah, I mean, these girls are goofy, they're weird, strange, odd, funny. Hell yeah, dude. But that, I don't know, I love that shit. Like, that shit cracks me up. I have a very I don't laugh at just anything, but if it's stupid enough, like, it's so good it's bad, so bad it's good kind of thing, I'm all for it. And that's why I think a lot of people who haven't played this should give it a chance, because it really is. How could you play all of the Wolfensteins and not play this one? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, Cyberpilot VR, that's, you know, that's going a little bit out of your way. If you don't have VR, you're probably not going to play it. I don't know anything about that game. The old Wolfensteins, obviously the only times that I've tried them were within the games, the little mini games. I never played the actual real thing. So I mean, sure, those things can kind of be excluded from this, but it's like, dude, if you're playing Wolfenstein Old Blood, New Colossus, New Order, you gotta play this one. It's so they're like, hey, we put out 3 games, let's make our 4th game kind of like a side thing, a spin-off, if you will. That's what they did, and it worked out great. So basically, the only complaints I know of is like, okay, it's a little stupid. Only about half of people who even know about the game or like Wolfenstein, they're gonna be fine with it. But the only other thing that I feel like someone might be able to complain about, which is understandable, I didn't really care. I got time to play. If I want to put the time to play this game and do what it wants me to do, I'll do it. But the grinding. But it's so optional. Like, you only need to grind if you're wanting to get shit out of it. You get upgrades, armor stuff. A lot of it's cosmetic, so you don't even really need to do it. Are you gonna partake in it throughout the game? Probably, yeah, but it probably won't go anywhere unless you really go a little bit further and do some extra work and put in some extra time to actually make some sort of an impact, because you're picking up like 1 silver, 2 silver at a time. It's crazy, dude. And these upgrades are expensive. They really do force you to put a lot of time into the game to get these cool things. But that's the thing, is you're running around, you're killing Nazis, you're having fun, you're enjoying the gameplay. That's kind of the highlight here is the gameplay. Yes, everything else is great as a whole game, but really it's just the fun, arcadey, shooty, ridiculous amounts of blood gameplay. It's just, it's just fun. There's really not much else to it. It's just like all the guns feel good. Is it the best game at gunplay and all these things? No, but like, I wouldn't say you have the most accurate weapons. The mobility is very fluid, it's very quick, it's very pick up this, do what you need to do, get through the mission, shoot them down, try not to raise the alarms, at least attempt to do stealth. If not, fine, guns blazing, stay alive, pick up armor, pick up health, whatever you can find. It is a very A to B thing, but what's even funny about saying that here is the fact that even this game, it's kind of open world. I had some trouble navigating through it all. Because like, especially with challenges, there's even like daily things. This is technically an online co-op game. You can play solo easily. That's what I did. So yeah, I mean, it can be another argument. It is one of those games where, oh, it's funner with friends, blah blah blah. I don't really play co-op games like that anymore, but it's there, it's a thing, which, I mean, hey, that's just a way to reach out to more people, right? But honestly, I had to find time just playing by myself, grinding, going from here to there, doing the challenges, trying to get silver, wanting to upgrade all my stuff, get the things I wanted. Yeah, it takes place in like Paris or something, Nazi-controlled Paris or some shit. And you got to think of this as well as the fact that this is the most modern, latest Wolfenstein game you can technically get your hands on or whatever. It looks the best. It plays the best. It just does look better. It is better. You don't get the originality out of it, obviously, like with BJ and his whispering ASMR and this very keen, really good PvE single player experience. But it's fun. Cutscenes were good.
Das lässt du noch bereuen.
And it's a really funny mix of like, I think the comedy, I do like it. I think they bring it up quite a bit, but I think just enough. And it always throws you off too, it always catches you off guard because you're kind of so into the game and what you're doing, the mission, the battle, the war. Then all of a sudden you got these two girls just cracking jokes, dude. But you know, a little simple laugh never hurt anyone. That's how we cope with life, is laughing, you know, like just life is a joke. Everything's a joke, man. It's, you know, it's fine. But it's just fun, like just playing and then all of a sudden you find yourself laughing. Hopefully. I did. Yeah, it's just a good time. Even getting a refresher of it again, I was like, you know, the little time I put back into the game, which after spending as much time as I have in the game, it was a little weird to come back, but at the same time it was just comfortable, like, you know, especially after spending that amount of time in this one game, you really got used to just the game and running around and doing this and that. It's a cozy game. It's a game you can put a lot of time into. They make it cozy enough to the point where you're comfortable and you have no problem navigating around. It may or may not be confusing depending on who you are. It's just a matter of like, okay, I've had my fill, I've had my fix. That's kind of what ended up happening to me, is like I didn't want to go too far with the game where I was just spending a ridiculous amount of time. The grinding does get repetitive, it gets old, it gets boring. But I think if you put a good effort into it, a little bit more than just the bare minimum, there is a payoff there. I think you do feel rewarded that, like, hey, you got the game, you put your time in, and you enjoyed it as much as possible. Time to put it down, move on. It's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing with when people complain, it's like, well, dude, you still get BJ. He's not like completely out of the game. It'd be kind of weird if he was. These are his daughters. You know, I just think people got too spoiled of the fact that, like, you know, we've received these 3 games, really good games, that we just got used to something so specific and niche, and it's like, give some stuff a chance, man. That way they can, these people, the better feedback and reviews these games have, the more content we'll get, and hopefully we'll be good. Like, not everything's gonna be perfect, and the more demand that's met with these games, the more we'll get. If there's no demand there, if there's negative reviews, we will not get more of what we like and enjoy and love and cherish and hold close to our life. It's because of these games why we've been able to make memories. Just be thankful. And I don't know, because even there's controversial games out there. You know, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna get. Not everything is gonna be a masterpiece. Not everything is gonna be like the first game, the first movie. But it's, what are you gonna do? You can't really change people's minds no matter what you say or do, and it's just kind of how things are. It's how people grew up. It's genetics. It's DNA. It's hereditary. It's just the life around them. Fine, do whatever you want. It's your life. But because even just every time I mention stuff like this, it just sounds so ridiculous that I even have to like kind of go out of my way to even say stuff like this, because it's like, dude, it's a fucking video game. Look around you. You know, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to the game. It's grinding, it's Wolfenstein. It's one of those passive games that you can play and maybe you got nothing else to play at the time. Maybe you just got done playing all 3 Wolfenstein games. Maybe maybe you happen to pick this up first for some reason, which would be interesting to start with this. I guess you can, really. I mean, it is kind of its own thing. You're not gonna know what the fuck's going on, I guess, which, you know, I've been there, it's fine. Just more room to find out what you need to know later. Great. Yeah. It can be kind of hard, though. I don't even know if there's a set difficulty here. Oh, because I know in the other games you had a lot of difficulty options. I don't really remember, because this is kind of an online game. I'm not really aware of, like, the servers and stuff exactly, and, like, update. I don't even know. I really didn't pay enough attention to that. I just looked at it as a single-player PvE campaign experience. I didn't really need to look beyond that at all. That's what I wanted out of the game, and that's what you can get. The menu can be a little confusing. You do have to, in order to play solo, you do have to kind of, like, start the game in a really weird way. Like, obviously, if you don't have multiplayer access, like PlayStation Plus or whatever, it'll tell you that, and it will not let you play with someone else. I don't think it's like a split screen game or anything. So yeah, if you want to play with people, you gotta have multiplayer access, which I guess on PC you'll probably be fine. And then whatever Xbox's thing is, I don't know. So I mean, there's that. There's a lot of secrets in the game, a lot of collectibles, a lot of codes to get. That's the thing with this. It's a lot of work. It's really grindy. To the point where if you want to get the things you want, you are gonna have to go out of your way and open up these chests and figure out these codes and get more coins out of it, whatever. Yeah, they don't really make it easy, but they don't make it, like, you know, super unobtainable either. But I thought it was cool. It's like, dude, you're getting customization? Hello? You could not do that with the other games. The most you could do is upgrade your guns. Ooh. Yeah, you can do that here, obviously. I just liked picking the different power suits and the colors and the themes and the helmets, especially the helmets. They even had, like, a, what is it called? Cyborg 009 or some, it's like some sort of anime. They even had, like, a suit that was themed towards that, which was kind of cool to see. I was like, why does this look so familiar? And I've never actually seen the show, but I was wondering why they put that in there. I still don't know to this day why, but I'm not complaining. And yeah, that's what's cool. You're in the power suits. You're not just kind of walking around naked. I don't know, it's cool. And I liked my sister companion. I thought she was a good partner. It's a good AI. They listen to you. Is it perfect? No, it's just about as good as any other AI. Like, maybe sometimes they'll get in their way, but they're really there for you. They're there for you to help you out and heal you, revive you, and armor, and you can go invisible, and you have shared lives that you get. You open everything up, gates and boxes, both yourself. It's just cool that you have a companion here, but it's not like they're just there. They actually have a reason to be there and help you out, and they're there with you the whole time. Your sister. You can either pick the blonde or the brunette. I forget their names. Sam and Jess or something. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, other than the faults that it might have, dude, I'd say a good, you know, this is well above average for me. I'd say this is a good 85%. You know, we're not just talking 75, we're going a little bit above that, and it's just it's a positive thing. It's a positive game. And It's cool, like all the enemies have weaknesses, like they're weaker to certain ballistics, like guns, ammo. There's a lot to learn, and but it's like a fun learning thing. It's not really like... It is different to the other games, like I said earlier. It's like there's a part of you, especially with how fast you can really move around, there's a part of you that just kind of wants to rush through and get it over with. But I think, especially knowing what people know about this game, if you're gonna play it at all, you may as well kind of like try to take it seriously. Because, you know, yes, you're gonna get the story out of it and stuff, which does go pretty far with it, surprisingly. It's a long game. It gets pretty wild towards the end. The ending was actually pretty hard for me. I struggled a bit there. Yeah, the gameplay is just really good. You know, once again with the grinding thing, it's like I think it was a little excessive. You gotta, you know, they had such a clear way of doing things with all the first 3 games, and this was their attempt at doing something a little different, mixing it up, changing it up, which is just part of life, evolution. So yeah, I'm actually glad I played this. When I first knew about it, it did take me a bit to get to it. A lot longer than it probably should have, but because especially it was around a time where it's like, you know, Wolfenstein I hold so close to games that I like, and respect and appreciate more than just kind of games I've just kind of played and was like, oh cool. So I was really anxious to play this, and I'm glad I did. I think it was good for, you know, going through with all the games and completing them, and you know, it was a good excuse to play other stuff, and you know, if I got asked today, have you played all the Wolfensteins? Have you played Youngblood? Yes, I have. And I enjoyed it, and I liked it. Every single one. You know, and that really can create an awareness of commonality, which is very hard to have with people, especially nowadays. And that's how I look at some things. Sometimes it's like, you know, I just want to fit in and blend in, but not to the point where I'm like a sellout or being desperate or just for the hype's sake or just because everyone else likes it. I just think with these communities like this, I think it's really nice to kind of just be included and say that I have been there, I've done that. That's the human life. Oh yes, I know of this, I've done that, I've watched this movie, I've listened to that song. It's just good, you know? It's good to make friends. Because everyone is so different, and you know, we're thinking cultures all around the world, and these are the things that are shared everywhere. And with how many differences we have with basically everything other than media, stuff like this, it's really hard. There's always a barrier there, and it's really nice when, even if you're from another country, you speak a different language, you have this in common, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, good game, recommend it. Some pros, some cons, some yeah, it's just not, there's not much else to it. I definitely don't like it as much as the other games, but I do like it. I don't hate it. And that's fine. That's normal. I think this game knew that it wasn't gonna be as liked as the other games, and I think it accepted that and was fine with it. And they still put it out anyways, and I salute them for that. But yeah, Wolfenstein, Youngblood, yeah, Wolfenstein, yeah, that's good.